Break a 1-9, break a 1-9. This here's the gear jamming deer. Whitetail has literally got your front door this time. Come on. So someone's made an actual pullable mobile home mod for BeamNG.Drive. Though I'd say this is actually more of a mobile office. Sort of more that shape and size and everything. Anyway, I've been on a bit of a BeamNG.Drive kick lately, due to a mod I found for automation, funnily enough, and was thinking it would be good to make a video on it. So here we are. First of all, there's a walk-around mode in Beam now, and I want to apologize, first of all, for the frame rate in this opening section. The rest of the video is not going to be like this. It's just because I have a lot of vehicles out right now. Anyway, if we get up in this, so I can switch vehicles. So yeah, this is an actual vehicle, it's not just a prop. You know, it has wheels and it has a hitch. It only has one axle, which I thought was interesting. But my goal for today is to find something that can pull it well. Your first thought would be, well, the D series, big, 3500 D series made for pulling this sort of stuff. But there are some struggles. While it's plenty powerful, the truck is just a bit too close to the ground, so the trailer is constantly scraping, and it's just not super realistic. You never see a pickup like this pulling a trailer this big. So I'd say that's a no-go. So next you might think, well, the T-Series. Well, there's one very simple problem with that. The T-Series doesn't have a regular trailer hitch. And yes, I know if there's a mod for that, I'll be getting to that. Alright, well, what about the B-Series? A modded truck that actually does have a trailer hitch, as you can see from this custom model I made here. Well, this truck is actually very good. But there are a couple of little niggles. First of all, look at all that wasted frame space. If you look at a mobile home hauler in real life, they usually have some sort of toolbox there or just other sort of weight to keep the center of gravity move forward on the truck and everything. And they also usually have a bit, I think, that is able to raise and lower the actual, so you lower the hitch down and hook it to the trailer. So, depending on the different level, you can keep the trailer mostly level. Which, obviously, that's not going to be something we can recreate in this game, but I just thought it was neat to mention. This truck, it works. It's not really ideal, though, and if you brake too hard, the hitch does that. So, B-Series, decent choice, but still not really what we're looking for. Alright, well, what about the Euro truck? Well, this truck actually does sort of have a hitch, unlike the T-Series, and since it's not actually a hitch, it's just a node stuck on the bumper, unlike the B-Series, it doesn't move around so much. But it's still, this is just a regular tractor. There's a lot of empty frame there. That's not quite what you're looking for. So then we come to automation. This is... I kind of wish that I had recorded when I made this. It would have made a good video, but someone made a mod for a Topkick body. So I was like, ooh, let me see if I can make Sasha. Of course, this is more or less what I want Sasha to look like. The sleeper's too big, and even the bed's still a little bit too big, but that's the general idea. Anyway, so it was like, when I saw the mobile home, I was like, ooh, I bet Sasha would be really good for pulling that. But there are problems. And of course, that's a problem with the way the node on the trailer hitch works. So I'm going to be trying to find a way around that. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it won't really discredit the rest of the video. Because the idea here is going to be, I'm going to use this Topkick mod to see if I can design something that looks like a mobile home hauler. And I'd like to get it to work as well, but even if it doesn't work, just having something that'll look a little bit good. So I'm going to try to base it off of a GMC Brigadier, because I think this Topkick model will allow me to make a good-looking Brigadier as well. Yeah, so that's the idea for the video. Sorry about the long intro and the low frame rate. It should be better after this. It's just been low because of all the vehicles I had on screen once. here we are in automation. It's been a while since I recorded this game, but it hasn't been especially long since I played it. Well, I mean, obviously I played it recently making Sasha, but before that. Hopefully the buzzing should be gone. If it comes back, then I'm just gonna have to throw something at something, but then we'll just have to deal with buzzing. Anyway, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So, here we're gonna go into the car designer. We're actually gonna be designing a new vehicle. I thought about basing it on Sasha, but like I said, I want the truck to look like a Brigadier and not a Topkick. So we're gonna go for new car model. And there are so many like just in the main game, there are so many bodies. So I'm actually going to disable all of these. Then find the Topkick body type, which, like, look, these are all base game, and I only have one body type on. And this is how many there are. Right. Here we're at the Topkick now. Alright, so now I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to turn body type back on for all of these, because there are a few more options. I guess probably the best option to start with would be the Blazer. So then I can probably cover up the back bit with whatever else I want to use. But that's the shortest frame option. Or would this be better? Yeah, looking at mobile home haulers on the internet, I'd say they're probably about this length. So I'm going to use this body. Yeah, I think that's the second shortest wheelbase. Oh, this one is really short. It actually has the same picture as that one. That's the same length as a cargo van. So yeah, this one. That's a color. Jeez. For an animal material, we're gonna go for fiber. God, I cannot talk. Fiberglass. Gonna have a ladder chassis. The chassis is gonna be corrosion resistant steel. Why not? It's gonna be from longitudinal, and it's gonna have all around lead. Yeah. Maybe. There we go. And I'm going to use an existing engine. I'm going to use one of my diesels. Yeah, that one. Obviously, they're not actual diesels, because you can't do diesels in this game, but they're made to resemble diesels, and I managed to get them sounding similar to diesels. Oh, that's interesting. Where did the wheels go? What's that all about? Alright, that's just gonna stay there. Oh, see, so if you make the cat, that looks weird. And just do a regular size cap. I actually need to pull up a picture of a Brigadier. That one will probably do. And yeah, the body shape isn't exact, but I don't think it's been exact with any of the vehicles I've made in this game. So I think that's fine. Can I make the hood? I can make it skinnier. And lower. Alright, I want it as tall as possible. And more or less as wide as possible. Something like that. Wish I could make the hood less long. The fenders need to be a bit chunkier than they are. Not that much. Like that, maybe? A little skinnier. And less tall. Bit. Yeah, okay. It's looking good. That's the chunkiness. Make the bed all as short as possible. Oh. Huh. I thought there was a way that you could get rid of the back of the frame entirely. Thought that was a thing I remember there being. Just a node I'm not finding somewhere. It's possible. Okay. Sorry about the delay. It'll have only been a couple seconds for you, but I just spent like half an hour looking at stuff. So, the guy who made this Topkick mod made a hour and a half or so long video showing various ways to fix things and do different things for both using the mod and making it work as a big truck if you want to, because obviously you can make it a tractor trailer if you want. And it included things like strengthening suspension and strengthening the node on the hitch, which was the problem I had with Sasha. So, keeping that in mind, I'm still going to try my other idea just because I want to know if it works. And then if it doesn't work, then I'll just strengthen the hitch. But I will link that video in the description. It has a table of contents at the beginning, so that tells you what timestamps to go to fix whatever issues you're having. And if you're going to be using this truck mod, which will obviously also be linked, it's a really good video to know where it is. But what I did also see is the way to get rid of the body, it only works on a certain frame. So I'm going to have to change this to a different body type. It only works on this frame. It also said the reason there are two versions. You see this one, if you look at the name, the model name, it's Topkick Box 2. This one is small Topkick box. One of them is the size of, like, he said the size of a moving van and the size of a semi. I'm not sure what he's considering a moving van, because obviously, like, a full-size Topkick isn't quite as big as a semi, but it's still moving van size. That's what my truck was. But since I'm making a Brigadier, which was a full-size semi-truck, I'm going to be using this one. So unfortunately that does mean that I have to use the longer frame if I want to get rid of the pickup bed. But that's okay, because I want to... I'm going to want to use this front end for other things too, and this will mean I won't have to keep redoing the fixtures. So I will make it work, basically. Alright, so keeping all of the same setup here. Gonna move on. Still use an existing engine, and this one, this engine should fit in, because like I said, it's the one that's in Sasha. And yes, now I'm not... Oh, I haven't actually picked the body yet, I guess. Yeah, so the other thing he showed in the video is this truck has all sorts of cool hidden morphs to do different things. So this one does a sleeper. This one I think is fifth wheel plate. There are more. I might be using a newer version of the mod than what he was showing in the video. But if I do this, kind of wanted to get rid of it completely, but I guess I can't do that. So that's the body, so now it's got the... You know what I'll do? I'll just do a mobile home hauler that has a sleeper. They exist. No, wrong one. kind of would like to move the back of the cab forward a little bit. It doesn't look like you can do that in this model. Just make the window slightly smaller. Anyway, so that'll be my base. That should be good enough. So moving on. And hey, the engine actually fits in this one. What are the odds of that? And I'll do colors later. Okay. So let me start with the Brigadier part. Do the grill and everything. Then I'll focus on the actual hauler part in a second. Make sure you're mirroring stuff like this, because Sasha actually only has one hood strap because I forgot to mirror it and just never went back and fixed it. Alright, so that's the grill. And what is this? Get out of there. What are you doing down there? Is there something else in here too? What the heck? Alright, I'm gonna lock all of these so I don't accidentally move them. I've done that before. Go. Yes, that looks... Ah, phone. Accusing you. That looks good. It's looking okay. Now, I'm gonna do all the big stuff on camera, and I'll go back and do smaller details on my own. Like, I noticed there's a little trim that goes up like this and then through the door. And the hood actually ends sooner on the real one than it does here, so I'm probably going to try to mimic that. But I'm going to do all that off camera because it would take forever. So we're going to move on to the mirrors. Now, mirrors are the next difficult section, because there aren't really any big rig mirrors. What I did for Sasha is I just took this mirror and scaled it way up. Usually, you gotta be careful doing that because it'll end up sticking way out the side. But with a truck like this, that's kind of what you want. It wouldn't have stock mirrors on it. It's a mobile home mover. They do stick way out. So, what I can do, if you go to 3D here, you have a bunch of random shapes you can play with. Which I love. This is all also new, and I really appreciate it. So you can pretty much make the vehicle look like whatever you want now, because you have all this. Was that the one I wanted? I want this. What I want is probably just a cube. Stay with me here. I'll do that. Oh, the mirrors. Go away. Okay, and then I want to scale it. I'm gonna make it really, really long. It's gonna take a second. Because this is kind of, if you've ever seen a mobile home hauler, this is kind of what their mirrors are. They just have a pole that mounts to the top of the roof. And then, oops, it sticks way out, and they got mirrors hanging off. Like so. I think that should be about the right width. I'm gonna make the whole thing a little bit bigger, because it should be decently thick. Like that. And that'll be black metal looking thing. Or chrome. Do chrome. Just regular chrome. Chrome will work. Okay, and then is there something that I can hang off of there that would look decent? Maybe. Thinking this. See if I can get this to work the way I want it to. Jeez. This thing is tiny. Alright, let me just mount them up here. It's so small. And if I go 3D, I can move it wherever I want. I do this. So now I want to rotate it like this. Then rotate it like this. And I want to move it up here. A bit more. Like so. Then if I could get this stupid thing I still don't really care for in this game is the camera. Controls kind of suck. Okay, and then I just need to scale it. Make it a bit wider and just very long. Rotate it back this way. Yeah, I guess, hold on, let me scale it. Just make it a bit thicker so it doesn't look so weird. Then move it out a bit and down a bit so it's within that. Oh, it needs to be rotated this way just a little bit. And it needs to be brought in just a little bit. And then if I paint it chrome to match the rest of the mirror, there you go. That's mobile home mover mirrors right there. Alright, so that's got the mirrors. So now, like I said, I'll do other... Okay, no, other important things. I'm going to do all the small fixtures off camera, but steps I could do now. for a bit longer, and then I can do like a roof thing at the top. That'll make it better. That being said, then I can do stacks. Oh yeah. Then I need some sleeper flares. Beautiful. And I think there's nothing for it. I think I just gotta do a big toolbox. This is gonna be like a big toolbox. In my mind, I'm gonna have 2 small doors and then a big tall door. And you wouldn't be able to reach that from ground very easily. Right. Now I've just got to make it look like a toolbox, which I do with this. Bring it back this way a little bit. Here. Shift, move up. Second one. Then go back to this. Shift, move this way. The third one, that's going to be a little bit skinnier and tall. Then, to really seal the deal, we want to go into MISC features. We want to find these. Which is good. And then, I believe, I go to door handles. This one. Once again, I gotta put it over here first. I want the background to be black. I need to scale it up a bit. That. Big toolbox. I'm actually going to put more doors on the back of it. Alright, so then what you want to do is, let's see, for the record, I'm sorry, but I am not going to link every single mod that I have installed in Automation, because I don't know what you are seeing and what you aren't seeing. Most of the stuff I'm using comes with this Topkick mod. I think the only thing so far I've used that was a mod was this, and maybe a headlight fixture, I'm not sure. But all of these can be found on the Steam Workshop. I've never installed a non-workshop automation mod, so let's see. Is this about the right size? Roughly. And then, this is where it might get a little bit trickier. I do have a right triangle here. That'll work. Does that make that color? Yes. Okay, so then I just need to fill that space with a cube, which I have up here. Cube. Alright, so then let me finish this all off with one of these. And that's where our taillights and such would be. Alright, so I don't know how much of that I'll have ended up cutting, but at this point I've finished most of the main body. Ignore that it doesn't have a bumper on it, I'll do that later. This is what I've come up with for the back. So you've got big toolbox housing with a bunch of smaller toolboxes in it. You've got little toolboxes down here. You've just got wings for aerodynamics or something like that. And then this is my hitch assembly. So this is the big plate that is full. I think these are actually supports in real life, but this is just a plate. And this is the track, so you can move the hitch up and down. This is what the hitch will be attached to. Now, like I said, usually the automation hitches, the node sort of likes to move around, like I showed in the beginning of the video. I saw in a video, like I said earlier in the video, a way to fix that. But I still want to try my own method just to see if it works, and then if it doesn't, I'll just change back to the regular hitch. Basically, what it is instead of using the game's hitch, I want to just add a node that I can use the node connector to attach the trailer to. And since it wouldn't have been on the hitch, it would just be a solid node, just part of the body. The way I'm going to achieve that, well, attempt to achieve that, is just by taking a cylinder, just mounting it on the back of the truck, preferably somewhere where I can actually reach it and shoot. Cylinder, come here. There we go. I need to move it out, and then make it very small. Oh, I made it so small I inverted it. Now it's very small, make it smaller. Basically make it as small as it'll go. And then make it kind of long. So my hope is that the game will automatically put nodes on the end of that. So then I'll just have a solid node that should, according to the game, be part of the body. That's the hope. It might not end up doing that. We're going to try though. And I'll just make it body color. No. Yep, that's my hitch. So I don't know if that's going to work. We're going to try it. But now I am going to go ahead and do all of the small little stuff. I'm going to add details to the cabin sleeper. Probably going to put lights across the roof and put a bumper on it. Do the tail lights, such like that. Just a bunch of small boring stuff that I don't feel like will be fun to watch, and I'll be back when I'm done with that. Alright. So I've got done with most of the fixtures. This is what I've come up with. I just realized that I forgot to do the interior, so I gotta go back and do that again. But I'm proud of my fixtures, so I wanted to show them off. Obviously, you've already seen most of the front, but I did bumper guides. I did the detail around the hood. I actually cut the hood so that it's the appropriate length-ish. Put the vent on, obviously door handles. I made it so that there are vent windows and the split windshield. I put the handholds on the hood, roof lights and horns. I know the horns don't look the greatest, but there's not much I can do about that. Just added some detail to the sleeper. Added a little bit of extra detail to this. And then taillights. And that's pretty much it. So not too much, but now it actually looks like a truck. So I figured I'd give a little update. I've got to go and fix the interior real quick and put license plates on it because I forgot about that. And then we'll be moving on to actually finishing it up and testing it. I'm excited. I think this is the most time I've ever put into one of the trucks I've made, and probably the most similar it's looked to what I wanted it to look like. Except for having the sleeper, of course. Yeah, I think it's come out really good. It actually legitimately just does look like a truck now. Alright. To quote Vanos. I think I'm finally done with all the fixtures on this frickin' truck. Which means it's finally time to move on. Yay, moving on. Alright, so it is rear-wheel drive. Going to have a manual 7-speed, I guess, since it's the highest we can go. Its top speed is definitely going to be more than 48 miles an hour. I don't know if it's going to be 145, but it's definitely going to be more than 48. I don't know where it's getting that from. It's going to have an open differential. We're going to go right the way out there. We're gonna do the same thing with the rear tires, though the rear tires seem to be big. Like that. That looks like that should be about perfect. And front brakes, I'm pretty sure it'll be solid disc. Don't know much about brakes. I'm just gonna make them all very big. None of that. And it does only have 2 front seats. I'm gonna... Oh, no, well, let me... Technically, they can. According to the game. Or a 2-door. That's what it thinks it is. Basic interior, basic CD. Hydraulic power steering, anti-lock brakes. Actually, no ABS. It's an old truck, I don't think it would have ABS. Doing a bunch of stuff that I know nothing about. And there's all the errors. Yeah, it's gonna understeer. They always understeer. I actually want the rear springs to be about as stiff as I can get them. So I assume this affects the in-game settings. Right, I was going to... Oops. Increase a bit. Oh, apparently I was going to increase it all the way. And yeah, there we go. That's my truck. Sorry if I don't seem like I have as much energy as earlier. I spent like 3 hours looking at this, so I'm just kind of drained. I'm very excited to see how it performs in real life. Well, in Beam. Yeah, same difference. Not really real life though. I would kind of, yeah. There is, funnily enough, one more fixture I forgot to place. The all-important badge. There we go. Now we're ready to go with it. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and export it, and I'll see you in Beam, and we'll see what it does. Alright. Here in Beam now. Beautiful day. The racetrack at West Coast, USA. And here's the truck. Beautiful truck. Actually so incredibly happy with the way this came out. Either it's a little bit tall or no, I guess that is about right. You can't just walk straight under a truck's mirror, can you? Yeah. Looks like that geometry isn't quite right. Now I'm able to walk around the... Yeah, it's sticking out a little bit. Oops. It's okay, it's only noticeable when you're really close up. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the way the truck looks. Unfortunately, I checked before I started recording, and my hitched idea will not work. We go back here, and I pull out the node grabber, you'll see I got all these nodes around here, but then nothing in this area. But if we go back up to the front of the truck, the bumper guide does have nodes on it. And that's the light on the top, but this, you can see, is on there pretty sturdily. So that would do the job I wanted it to do if it had worked. But like I said, I saw in that video a way to just strengthen the regular trailer hitch, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a regular trailer hitch on it. I just wanted to test this and see if it would work. So I'm going to go do that real quick, and I'll be right back with you to actually see how it tows the trailer. Alright. I'm back once again. This time I've got a proper hitch on the truck. You can see it has a node on it. The node has been strengthened as per the video that I watched, which once again will be linked in the description. Let's see if it can actually pull the trailer. Without any further ado or anything else like that. Hitch is a little tall, but that's by design. Just go and hooked. And unhooked. I don't know why it does that. Huh? What? Okay, I think I screwed up the node strengthening, as it's now actually worse than it was before. Let me get back with you on that one. Alright, so I've tried just about everything I could think of, and nothing I do can get this node to stay still. See, just using the node grabber, I can move it around quite easily. Which means whenever I try to hook the trailer to it, it just drops to the ground, basically. So, for now, I'm going to have to just leave this the way it is. So the two nodes are trying to attach right now. Whoa. Okay, apparently I'm standing on the tongue of the trailer. This is interesting. Well, it hasn't completely hit the ground yet. Quick, let's jump in the truck and go before it hits. So, apparently, if you can get the trailer to actually stay hooked to the truck, it'll tow it pretty much no problem. So, I say I achieved my goal. But that being said, it is a pain in the butt to get an automation vehicle to stay hooked to a trailer properly. And I'm gonna go do more in-depth study on that and see if I can find some way to, like, put a regular vehicle node there or something. Because obviously, if you could hook it straight to the chassis, that'd be fine. But these chassis don't have nodes in the middle. So I'm going to see if I can find a way to do that. And if I do figure it out, I might make a follow-up video, or I might forget about it. We'll see. But for the sign-off of this video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know if you want to see more automation like me. You know, when they go the way I want them to. Hello again. I know I already signed off, but I actually did it improperly. And also I wanted to make this little follow-up. I went ahead and did a little more messing around with the node strengths and such like that. What I actually did was I went and found another mod that adds a tow bar to a vehicle, and went and looked at what the strength of that tow bar's hitch node was, and just applied all of its values to this truck, and it's still not perfect. The node still moves around a bit, especially if you grab it with the node grabber, it'll move up and down pretty easily. But for this particular truck, it won't go, interestingly, it won't go beyond where I put that hitch track, which should have absolutely no bearing on the actual node. It's just something I did for aesthetic purposes. But that's like the range of where the node will move, interestingly. You can see it is holding the trailer perfectly fine, and go over some bumps, and you see it bouncing up and down a little bit, but it's not going any lower than where it's supposed to be. So, from what I can tell, the trailer's tongue will break before the node actually drops down. Now, I did hit a big bump earlier, and the node came off completely, which was interesting. But, I mean, not necessarily unrealistic. Like, I mean, it was a bump, I hit it so hard that the trailer disintegrated. And the hitch came off. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that real quick. I also wanted to say that there are a couple of supplemental videos that I'm going to be uploading, that the links will be in the description. One's going to be bloopers from when I was both trying to figure out how to strengthen the node and from when I was putting fixtures on the truck, because there were just some funny moments that I saw while I was editing. That it's like, they didn't really need to be in the main video, but you know what? I'll make this extra blooper video in case anyone wants to see it. I also am going to upload the entire raw hour-and-a-half long footage from when I was putting all of the cab fixtures on the truck. So you can watch that if you so desire. I don't know why anyone would want to, but just in case you want to see how I did all the little details on the truck, that'll be there too. But I think that's it for this. I have a couple more ideas for cool trucks I can make with automation using this mod. If you'd like to see those, let me know, because otherwise I'm just going to make them off camera. If you have any ideas for a car you'd like me to make, maybe you want me to make your personal car, send me a picture. I'll see what I can do. I don't know, I think it could be interesting. But anyway, for now, keep the hammer down, drivers.